Hey guys, it's Lyra. Today I am answering all of your questions about online school, the process, how I get motivation. I have been homeschooled my whole life. The past 3 years I've been doing online school and I'm about to start my 4th year. So I've had a lot of experience and I have a lot of tips and tricks, things that I do to help me survive and things that help me out. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to send in your questions and I got a bunch of questions. I know especially now because of everything that's going on, a lot of you guys are doing online school for the first time other than the few months that you had at the end of your school year. I know it probably feels really crazy to be jumping into something you literally don't know anything about. I am here to help you out and I really hope that I'm able to provide you with some information that helps make this process as easy as it can be. Let's get into your questions. The first question is, do you have a specific method that helps you work? I personally like to get up in the morning, work out and get ready for my day completely because that helps me feel way more productive when I'm ready for the day and I'm not wearing my PJs and my hair's all messy and I haven't washed my face. So I do that and try to accomplish the hardest subject and the one that takes the longest first, and as soon as I get that one done I feel so much better, and then I will kind of continue with the day. It depends on my classes, what I have scheduled for the day, but what I usually do is I try to get the hardest class done first. That is definitely like a method that helps me. How do you find a balance between relaxing and also getting work done? Love you. Love you too. What I always try to do is have little breaks between. Maybe after working for an hour and a half or so, I will have breaks where I either do some YouTube planning, Instagram pictures, IG stories, get lunch. There's just so many little things you can insert throughout your day in between subjects that will really help your brain get a little break and help it kind of reset before you dive back into school. So I highly recommend after a certain amount of time that you've been working on your school to get up and take a little break, because that will help you out more than you probably would even expect. Also, time management is so important. I cannot stress this enough. If you take anything from this video, it is that you need to know how to manage your time and be able to do that. It's going to be so crucial, especially doing homeschool or online school. Being able to manage your time and set your priorities is going to save you. How do you manage to get to your classes on time? You know, if there's any tech difficulties. I know this can definitely be a challenge for online school. There are always different things that can happen with your laptop or your iPad or whatever you do school on. Personally, I do iUniversity Prep. That is the online school that I do and I really like it. We usually have a whole system. Every year we go through and we meet with our Pride or our homeroom teacher and they will help us get everything set up. So if you need to reach out to your teacher and maybe have a 30-minute call where they test things out, test out your microphone, your camera, and just make sure everything's working. Also make sure when you're attending a class you have good connection, because that's obviously important and will be really helpful so that you can communicate well and you can hear your teacher well. I would hope your teachers give you grace because they know a lot of you guys are new to this. I'm sure they'll be patient with you until you figure everything out. How do you make sure you get all your work done on time? I mentioned this tip in one of my recent videos. It's how to have a productive school year. And it is to put down all of your due dates as soon as you get them into your calendar. This will help you get your work done on time because you will know when the due dates are coming. If you don't do that, there could possibly be projects and assignments that you missed because you just didn't know they were coming. And again, prioritizing your time is really important. If you know you have something that needs to be due and that due date is coming up, please work on that instead of playing Fortnite. It takes discipline, and once you get into the flow and start doing it more often, you'll become better and better getting your work done before you do other things. But I highly recommend having a planner or calendar or some way to organize your due dates. That way you can plan out your days and be able to complete your work on time. What was your first reaction when they told you you were going to do online school? I have been been homeschooled my whole life, so when I switched to online school, I was honestly really excited. I wouldn't have a bunch of textbooks to carry around, my laptop and the notebooks that I used to take notes. But for me, it wasn't as big of a event as it is for a lot of you guys who go to school, because I have never gone to school. It wasn't super surprising or anything, but I'm really glad that I switched to online school, and I've really liked it and enjoyed it so far, except for AP US History. I hate that class. What is something you would like about public school? I've definitely thought about this, and I think it would be all of the obvious things, you know, getting to see your friends for a majority of the day, hang out with them while you're doing school. Also, all of the events you guys have, like prom, all the fun school events, all that stuff is stuff that I've missed out on, but that would definitely be what I would look forward to going to public school. What items are in your workspace? P.S. I love your channel. Thank you. I really like my workspace. I have a white desk and I have a few of my notebooks against the back, and then to the corner I put my water because that is such an important thing to have while working. And then on the side I have a bunch of my pens, a candle, a little speaker, and on the top I just have a few little decor items. And I also have my summer bucket list in the middle, and then on my desk all I have is my laptop. It's super important to be doing your school in a place that is organized and not messy, because your brain will be focused on all the messy stuff and it'll just kind of hinder your learning experience. So definitely recommend having a good place to work that is pretty clean for the most part. How often do you take breaks from the computer? I know some people get headaches really easily from the computer, so it's really important to take breaks. But I also recommend getting a pair of blue light glasses. This is so important for online school. You guys all need to get a pair of them. I know there's a bunch on Amazon I'm sure you could find, but those are really helpful. They protect your eyes, and I've heard that people who get headaches get a lot less using those glasses. But regarding your question, I usually just take breaks whenever I'm starting to feel kind of tired. I can usually work for an hour up to an hour and a half before I will want to take a little break. Do you get bored of being alone during all of your work? By the way, I love your videos so much. Thank you so much. I am kind of an introvert when it comes to me working and when I'm in the zone. So when I'm doing school, I actually really prefer being alone. I will enjoy going to coffee shops and that kind of stuff, but in general I like being alone. When I am with people, depending on what people I hang out with and do school with, depends on how productive I am. Sometimes there are people who literally just talk the whole time, and other times they will actually work with me. And if it's the second option, I am fine with working with people, but I usually work alone and I do enjoy it because I'm a lot more productive that way. Do you think online school is way more effective than going to school? I think that depends on the person you are and how you function. I'm a super organized person. I have my days planned in advance, and I'm really disciplined when it comes to school and getting stuff done. So online school is definitely more effective for me because I don't feel like I'm wasting time walking through classes and just doing all the extra stuff you do in school. However, there are other people who haven't gotten to the point where they can have internal motivation and they need like the teacher telling them it's due at a certain time and they have to have that interaction with people every day. In that case, going to school is more effective for those kind of people. It really just depends on how you're wired and how you work best. What was your schedule like with online school, your YouTube channel, and staying fit/healthy? Like I've mentioned, this is where priorities come in. Every day is usually pretty busy still, even though I do online school because of YouTube. I will always plan out my day the day or the night before. It just helps me so much going to bed knowing that I have a plan for the next day. But I will usually wake up, I will try to work out depending on if I am going to Ninja, which is kind of like American Ninja Warrior. I'm not on the show, but that's like what I train. If I have a ninja class, that is usually in the evening, so if that's the case, I will not work out till then. But if I am able to work out in the morning, I will do that after breakfast, and then I shower and get ready for my day, and then get started on school as quick as I can. I am the most productive in the morning, so that is when I really like to knock out my schoolwork. I'll obviously take breaks in between then, working on YouTube stuff, getting lunch, getting food, going to a coffee shop to work or something like that. And then after school is done is when I try to do YouTube stuff. I try to plan videos and edit videos, get new video ideas, and then usually around 6 or so I will leave and drive to Ninja for practice. And once I get back, I'll shower and plan out the next day, probably do more YouTube editing and stuff, and hang out with my family, because family is so important. So that is what the majority of my days look like during the school year. You'll probably end up seeing a bunch of my days during the school year in future videos, so stay tuned. Does waking up early help? Yes. Yes, it does, 100%. Most people who move from actual school to online school think that it means they get to sleep in a lot more and have a lot more rest. I mean, you can do that, but you will probably feel a lot less productive. Getting up early in the morning and getting ready helps you feel like you're getting your day started quickly and efficiently. Laying in bed, sleeping in, that does not work for me. I always wake up at 7 basically every day, even on the weekends, because I just feel better when I do that. So I definitely think waking up early will help you. How to have the motivation to do school and not procrastinate. I'm not perfect in the non-procrastination area. I still procrastinate sometimes. I know I'm giving you guys a bunch of tips and stuff, but like, do not think I'm perfect, because that's not the case. Even if I'm working on something like science that I know will never be in my life and I don't want to have a job that has anything to do with it, my main motivation is the fact that I have to pass this class, graduate with a good GPA, and that will help me get into a good college. I always have to think about the big picture. I'm sure there's something other than school that you guys would want to be doing. So use that as motivation to do your classes and do your lessons and get them done as quick as you can. I also usually tell myself the quicker I finish this, the more time I have for YouTube, the more content I can put out, and that motivates me so much. Like, I don't need any more motivation than that. That just flips the switch and I will get on beast mode and I will finish that class. Hi Lyric, I have done public school my whole life and have never done any type of online or homeschool, so this is all pretty new to me. I was wondering how you don't get distracted all the time from your phone and other people in the house and stuff like that. I love you and you inspire me so much with my channel. Thank you so much, girl, and I hope your channel is doing fantastic. So like I said, I am pretty disciplined when it comes to staying on top of my schoolwork and not procrastinating, although I do it sometimes. I do have my days. In general, I'm pretty good at that, but something I highly recommend is if you don't need your phone for school, sit it out of your room or somewhere where it's difficult to get it. And if you do need your phone for school, turn on screen time for the apps that you know you don't need to be on, such as like Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, even Pinterest. Any apps that you can get really distracted on and stay on for a really long time and just fall into a deep hole where you just lose a bunch of hours. Even though you'll know the password for your screen time, it's still a little extra something you have to do to get into the app, and it just takes a little bit of discipline to tell yourself, I'm not going to put in that password, I'm going to continue with my work. I'm not sure if you can put on screen time for Androids, but I know for iOS you can, so that's definitely something I recommend. I also recommend apps like, I think it's called Forest, where you can grow a little forest, and if you go out of the app to get into a different app, it will make your plant or your tree die and you have to start all over. I think that's really helpful as well. How can I make more friends with people who aren't from my school? I love you, Lyric. I love you too, girl. Thanks for sending in your question. I would just recommend, get into different clubs and programs that are around you where you live. There's programs for so many different interests. You can meet people there who are interested in the same thing as you, and I'm sure you can make friends with them. That is something I really recommend if you're doing online school, is to get out and have a club or something you're a part of. Like for me, it's Ninja, because I get to get out of the house, be active, and hang out with people other than my family. I would definitely recommend having something that you're a part of so that you have human interaction and could do something outside of your house. Hi Lyric, I was wondering if you have everything online or do you have a pen and paper to take notes, write down your homework, etc. So I am kind of trying to figure out the answer to this question. Recently I've been doing mostly online for my organization, but during the school year I usually resort to paper in a planner or my bullet journal. I don't know, that just helps me a little bit more. I have always taken notes in a notebook, but I think as I move into my senior year and college, I'm gonna start taking them online in like Google Docs or something like that, because I know that's way more effective when you get into college classes and stuff. So I want to start making that a habit now. But I personally prefer to write down my notes. It just helps me retain the information better. It depends on how you learn best. Some people learn best by writing down their notes. Other people learn best by typing them out. So just figure out which method works out for you and go with it. Hi Lyric, my question is, how do you keep track of all your work since you do online school? I have been mostly organizing my life online using Apple calendars or Apple reminders. I use both of those. I used to use my bullet journal and a planner, which I think I will end up switching back to that during the school year because that's what I tend to do. Really just find what organization method works best for you, whether that's online or not. Just go with it. Either way, make sure you are writing down all of your due dates and just having those where you can access them and see when important things are coming up. That way you can get your work done on time. How do you not get distracted? I've been doing public school my whole life, and when I do my homework I always end up scrolling on TikTok or something like that. I do have times when I get distracted, but like I said, I definitely recommend removing the distractions from your work area, such as your phone or whatever tends to distract you the most. Also putting screen time passwords on your phone, or even deleting the apps while you're doing school, because then if you want to get on the app you have to go to the app store, download it, wait for it to download, log into your account, and then you can use it. That's something I definitely recommend, is just deleting the apps that tend to distract you the most, and also having some sort of motivation to get your work done as quick as you can. Whatever that may be for you always helps too. Okay, last question. I wanted to know, how do you grasp the content or teach yourself, whether that be through apps or a certain method you used for spacing? Because when my school went online for fourth quarter, it was really hard to understand the lessons my teacher put, since they weren't actually teaching, if that makes any sense. YouTube. Some teachers just cannot teach online, but YouTube literally has everything on it, especially things for science, math, and history. There is just so much content on YouTube. If you search up what you're looking for, YouTube will most likely have it, and that is so helpful. I cannot tell you the amount of things I learned from YouTube. In fact, a lot of my teachers for my lessons just link a bunch of YouTube videos and we watch those and take notes on them. But also Khan Academy is, I'm pretty sure that's like a free thing for students that has a lot of information on almost any subject and topic possible. So that is something I recommend as well. I have definitely used those sites so much. They are really helpful for doing online school, and I know it can be really hard at times to learn, but be patient with yourself. As long as you're trying your best, you're going to grasp the content. And don't forget, if you need any help, ask your teacher what they recommend you do if their method of teaching isn't working for you. So those are all the questions that I am answering for this video. I really hope these answers help you guys out, and I'm praying for you guys to all have a great school year. I know it will be a little bit different, but you guys are going to do amazing. Also, if you like my shirt, it is from Glow's Official. I always have the link to her site in the description, and you can use my code LYRIC10 for 10% off. She's such a sweet person and has the cutest t-shirts ever, so definitely check them out. Also, my scrunchie is from La Scrunchie, which is also linked in the description, and you can use my code LYRIC10 for a discount. I'm pretty sure that's my code. Don't forget to subscribe. You know how to do that. I don't think I have to explain it to you guys. Also, subscribe to my vlog channel if you aren't already. It's Lyrics Vlogs, and if you can't find it when you search it up on YouTube, let me know and I'll send you the link. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.